My parents said they were going to be child-free when they got married. Relatives have told me that I got pregnant pretty by chance. At first I had a good life, but I think my parents didn't want to spend as much time with me once I stopped being so cute and beautiful. They both had jobs and a business that they started together. They lived and breathed that business, and I was always second to it. The rest of my family, like my grandparents, lived in different states, and I didn't know much about them until I was an adult. So I didn't have any other family around when I was a kid. I was pretty much raised by TV and my teachers. Before I turned 13, I often didn't spend my birthday with my parents because they would just give me money and tell me to buy whatever I wanted. It was pretty much the same for Christmas, and sometimes even for back-to-school buying. Once I turned 10, I talked my parents into buying a fake Christmas tree that I could put together and then take apart every year. Without it, we wouldn't have had a tree at all. If I had to describe my parents, they're like those people who wear black all the time, drink a lot of wine and frown at other people. And my parents looked and behaved the same the last time I saw them, even though my dad wore a toupee all the time now. I asked my parents if I could work part-time at their business when I turned 16. They told me they didn't have any open jobs or anything like that. They could have told me straight out that they didn't want me there. As soon as I turned 18, my parents told me that I was an adult and should move out as soon as I could. I had a part-time job while I was still in high school. I also didn't have nearly enough saved for college. They told me to pack up and move out not long after high school finished. They got a real notice to vacate that gave me 30 days and everything. They didn't even help me move. I needed help from the truck-owning dad of a friend. I ended up getting a bad apartment and working in stores. I didn't have any skills in real life and didn't have time for college. Then, after only a few months, I was fired because my boss really didn't like me and gave me bad grades for the silliest things. I no longer even remember what they were. The boss didn't just treat me badly though. A few other people and I called company to talk about it. The boss was soon fired for a number of different reasons after being looked into by corporate. I don't know many of them because it was mostly kept quiet. But someone told me that stealing cigarettes was a part of it. The boss also smoked a lot. Corporate wouldn't hire me again, but they would change the record to say I was laid off instead of fired so my resume would still look good. I guess they thought I was broken or something. For some reason, I quickly lost all of my money because I was bad at handling it and couldn't find steady work. I lost my place. When I went back to my parents to ask for help, they wouldn't take me in, not even for a short time to get back up. I lost my job and had to sleep in a tent in someone's backyard during the winter. All of my friends had gone to college, some in different states. I, on the other hand, was broke and doing any job I could find to make ends meet. Someone who lives next door to my parents found out I was living in a tent and offered to take me in for a short time so I wouldn't freeze. She helped me nag my parents until they told me how to get in touch with my cut-off family members. They didn't want to tell me. Maybe they were afraid of being judged for how they threw out their son, but they gave me the information and a list of ways to get in touch with them. Then they told me not to bother them ever again. Friends and family from my dad's side of the family were shocked and delighted to hear from me because they hadn't seen me since I was a baby. I'm the only grandchild they have. When my grandparents heard what was going on,